Okay. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted.
Make sure you apply the power brick before we start playing too.
I already turned it on.
Okay.
Remember what this 4x4 costs, so we look it up real quick.
Captain and Tilly's.
See what we have to get up to buy the next one.
$2 million, I believe.
I believe so, but I'm gonna double check just to make sure. Ah, 6 million. Oof. Gonna be a long
I
drive.
don't think we have the brick even though.
No, we don't. We also don't have 6 million yet, so we could go figure out where the brick is. Okay. 10.
So we have to get 3 million studs to get this?
6 million.
Well, 3 million standard studs. What was the first one? 1 million or 2 million?
2 million. What the fuck? Power brick 9. How come none of these things tell you where the fuck to find them? That's the GBA version. DS version. Jesus Christ. Okay, this one's from 2020, so this one has to be good. Okay, the 4 times is in episode 5, part 3. Might as well grab that quick. Oh, it's a ship level. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad then. Great.
Does it say where it's at?
It probably does. Table of contents. Falcon flight. Okay. At the back right of this area, it's on top of one of the.
Back right, it's on top of the Star Destroyer.
Oh, yep, there it is. It's on the back of the Star Destroyer.
Oh, I see it. That's pretty easy. Like I shoot it or just really hard to touch. Got it.
I think we can just leave, right? No point in going through this whole level. I think. Ah, no, we do have to go through. Okay, hell. 2 seconds from the start anyway, so. Perfect. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just you just hold the button, you don't have to tap it. Come on, get him. There you go.
There's one more on the left here. Might as well go for True Jedi on free play, because don't we have to do it twice in this game?
Yes, you have to do it once for free play and once for standard. I also have 2 times money multiplier, so I may as well soak it up. I don't have any shits yet. Imperial shits, I mean.
Bomb.
Oh, there's one. Hello, Maya. Not the best time right now. I do love you though. Ah, fuck. Okay, I don't know what you do. Damn hole. There's no bombs down here. Hello, sweet pea bear. Yo, 4 times multiplier. Hello, mail. Hello. Where'd you waste like bombs so
I
fast.
only got one.
Oh. Right back in. Hello, Nyan. I know you're needy. Oh, you're a good girl, yes.
Damn, that was epic. Why did my bombs keep going on the wall?
Okay, easy. Now we just gotta save up 6 million.
We're 1/30th of the way there, approximately.
Well, once we have the ×4, we'll be at ×8 and be able to cruise from then on. Because the ×6 only requires 12 million. And at ×8, that's like 1.5 million. And then once you have the ×6, it's just over.
What's after that? Is there a ×10?
Yeah, it goes up to ×10.
Jesus.
Well, back to it.
That'll be Luke Skywalker. Oh, there he is. There he is. No, not fucking Dagobah. Only the black Luke Skywalker. Green saber.
And then we need to switch to a bounty hunter, do that. Grind is 6 milli. Wait. Hold on. got all this shit over here too. This one's all double score zone too, so we should get some pretty decent money out here now.
I think if you want to speed run to 100%, the trick is just to play the Phantom IV 400 times.
Yeah, well, what can you do? We're making twice as much money as we were before.
Hoping the Mustafar trick comes back for Complete Saga.
We will see.
The Mustafar trick was busted because we literally got like 3 million in one level once. With no multiplayers.
I don't think we both need to go down here.
Hot think of boo boo.
Nice.
What's your favorite boomer term?
I'm not sure.
That's hot think of boo boo.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. I just heard it before. Who's your favorite boomer? Baby boomer.
Oh, my favorite boomer, huh?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere. That was
Mine is
just
George Lopez.
okay. I'm just letting that guy get up there. Oh. That was just a mini kit before. I don't think there's any money up there. Oh wait, you have to pull these levers, don't you?
In fairness, the Complete Saga is also gonna have the ultimate OP purple coin. That's when that starts coming into play.
Yeah.
This is probably the most grinding you'll have to do in a LEGO Star Wars game.
Probably some of the most grinding in any of the LEGO games.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll see. Maybe LEGO The Incredibles has a robust grinding system.
Fuck off, man. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of this, huh?
It's a good thing the grind is fun.
Yeah, fun. Remember if this gets you anything. No, it gets you a mini kit. We'll get on all those little pittance. Why? Come on. Good enough for me. Oh, 200 grand already. So that's something. You got those two.
Why can't there be score multipliers in real life, you know?
So true. My life is like a video game. Trying hard to beat the stage.
Not even true. My life is like a video game for real, for real.
Come on. Actually, I think we're definitely some kind of doubt it. A little.
I love the accuracy of doing.
I think you seem to be okay. $250K already. Just quite a few more to go. I just want to get this before it disappears. Okay. these over here. Okay, if the camera could stop wiggling about, please. Jeez.
Oh, I think we need the vehicle to do this.
No, you do not. At least we're making bank. Slowly but surely. Oh. I got the whole left side. Oh, we're making good money. Come on, just. Jesus Christ. Okay. God damn it. Hold it for 2 seconds. Holy shit. Come on. Okay. Come on. I don't need anything else for activating those. Just make it.
think you can lose money when you have the multiplier on this game. Like it's effectively an invincibility trick because I've died like 3 times and I haven't lost any money.
Huh. Weird. Stop.
God damn it.
Ugh, it's a lot of money. Not enough, but a lot.
Well, that is the big roadblock with this game at this point. It's just suffering through playing the same level 5,000 times.
Once we get this one, the grind becomes substantially less shitty. This is even worse than the times 2, and then once this is over, it's easy pickings.
It'll only be like 2 times 3 to get the 3 times, or the, whatever, the 6 times multiplier, whatever.
Every single one after these first 2, it's going to be very cakewalk, relatively. Where's
Plus the 2 times room just gets more overpowered each time.
that as well? Get out of my way, you dumb fucks. Hey.
Yeah, and the most entertaining Let's Plays are beating the same level 4 times in a row.
It's like a speed run. Except not particularly fast.
Or particularly interesting. There's no tech, it's just the level that fucking has the most money squeak out beat it 200 times. There's nothing particularly impressive about what we're doing right now. Put it that way.
Yeah. There's just gonna be like 8,000 levels titled The Money Grind. Act 3. Episode 6, Return of the Money. Why are you sitting there, Mia? Why there? Might as well switch to a bounty hunter and get the bomb planted on that thing on the other side of the room. I'm trying to make this as absolutely efficient as possible. Just money grind power hour.
What do you think of the idea that transvestites are killing themselves in alarming rates?
Anyway, wait. So, are you excited for Ant-Man Quantumania?
Yeah. No, not really.
Did you watch the new trailer? I haven't.
No, the only trailer I watched was Flash because they haven't released a trailer. I don't really need to see the Fast and the Furious trailer because I kind of know what we're getting. Apparently Brie Larson's in the new Fast and the Furious.
What about the Indiana Jones trailer, huh?
Oh yeah, I did watch that one too.
I haven't. I haven't watched the Flash one either. You described the Flash one to me. It sounds like a nightmare. Ant-Man sounds like the most predictable movie of all time, so...
They're ending the universe where the first one began. By remaking Man of Steel, but this time with Supergirl instead of Superman because they don't want to pay Henry Cavill. And there's two Flashes for some reason, both played by Ezra Miller.
Yep.
And there's two Batmans. One is played by Michael Keaton and one is played by Ben Affleck.
Why not?
It kind of has the multiverse multiverse issue of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has, where you're like, okay, so in the multiverse, different looking people are Peter Parker, but Doctor Strange is just the same guy on every world. So there's different Batmans.
Doctor Strange is consistent because magic or something. At least you can say that with the Flash.
But then you have Captain Marvel on the other world who's...
She's not magic.
But isn't that girl is she not? I guess she was like a Kree. She was like one of the Kree people in the first one, the Captain Marvel of that world. And then I guess so the other sorcerer nemesis of Doctor Strange, he's the same because of magic, but Wanda's the same. Okay, Wanda magic, okay, sure.
I don't know.
The magic ass pull, let's just say that. But then Peggy Carter is the same person. She doesn't have any magic.
Prove it.
Just for absolutely no reason, Peter Parker is the only person who looks nothing alike on any planet.
Yeah, well.
You have the same thing with Ezra Miller.
That's gonna add a lot of movies to your thing when you finally finish the MCU one and do the DCU one.
Yeah.
Same way Spider-Man fucked everything up for you, though.
Well, Spider-Man's not so bad, but what's gonna really fuck me is Secret Wars, because guaranteed they're just gonna pull every franchise they possibly can into it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Sony did kind of screw the pooch, because now I'm gonna have to like review Spider-Man Noir, the new live-action Spider-Man Noir TV series.
That's the thing. What are they putting in?
Sony's doing a whole bunch of Spider-Man movies and TV series. They're expanding their cinematic universe to TV. And they struck a deal with Amazon Prime, so now we're not...
That's so weird.
So don't think that just because...
That's so fucking weird.
We're gonna have extra Marvel to review.
Even more MCU that's kind of not MCU, that's kind of MCU that you can only watch on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
To go with the MCU you can only watch on Disney Plus. What a clusterfuck. I can't even imagine how bad a shitty fucking...
I mean, I guess we don't know for sure, but I'm sure Sony... If Marvel and DC are both doing the multiverse now... I mean, what's kind of weird about it is, it's fitting that Flash is a multiverse movie, because Flash, in like one of his first issues, he was about 20 issues in, and he invented, and that was the original multiverse in comics, was when Flash met Jay Garrick, the original Flash, through the multiverse. And DC invented the multiverse, but now they're ripping off the multiverse, kind of.
It's just kind of...
Marvel never really gave a shit about the multiverse, like it kind of existed, but it definitely wasn't a focus, so it's kind of ironic now that there's a multiverse saga, because DC was always so horny for the multiverse, but Marvel never really cared about the multiverse that much.
Now Marvel does nothing but random different multiverse stories that have nothing to do with each other.
And are confusing. Kang is also the same in every universe. Same actor, I should say, not same person, I guess. It's just kind of confusing other than the fan service of it, why Spider-Man looks the same or different in every universe.
And why they're completely...
I mean, it's Sony,
different
so
ages
be,
at
but
different
at least
times.
the Spider-Man Noir TV series, if somehow manages to be put in the right hands, which it won't be, because it's a Sony and Amazon Prime production, cash grab production. But I mean, the idea of a Spider-Man noir TV series is relatively interesting.
Yeah, I mean, could maybe have potential, I guess.
I'm guessing they're gonna try to get Nicolas Cage to play Spider-Man since he did it in the animated movie. And if it connects into the Spider-Verse, then we're gonna have another can of worms. Because if they get Nicolas Cage, my guess is it's a live-action adaptation of his character from Spider-Verse. But very little is confirmed besides the fact that Sony wants to do it, so. I think those flowers can be blown up, can't they?
No, I don't think so. I can try in a second. Press that little button, the single one. Come the fuck on. Here we go.
And they're doing everything else seems to be in the Sony Spider-Verse that they're doing because they're doing a Silk TV series. I wonder how they're gonna do Silk because Silk, her whole thing, she's bit by the same spider as Spider-Man and then was a vigilante, but no one gave a shit about her because she didn't do shit. She was kind of a retcon, kind of a massive retcon because Silk was introduced in 2015 and just never did anything for the whole time, but then it turns out like was also got bit by the same spider as Peter Parker.
Huh.
Also kind of making Peter Parker less special if anybody can get bit by a spider and he's on Spider-Man. I mean, you'd think most people died, kind of the implication of Spider-Man originally is he's like a special boy. He was able to get the powers because he had special DNA or some shit, I don't know. At least that was implied in some comics, but evidently that's not really the case. You think they discontinued the radioactive spider program after the first guy got bit?
After the first guy got weird mutant powers from a radioactive spider.
Although it's a good thing she also happened and just wanted to become a superhero out of it, because like it would be really fucking awkward if she was like evil or some shit. Or if she just decided not to do anything with her powers or like become like an influencer with Spider-Man powers.
Yeah. An Instagram model hanging from walls, swinging from the Empire State Building.
I mean, you can get the best shots, bro. Get the best shots.
Or she started doing like spider-themed porno.
I don't think she'd have. I mean, that would be like totally her option if she wanted to do that. But I'm sure if you have Spider-Man powers, you're bound to be able to make money exhibiting them. Without having to suck dick, you know.
Well, she could like make webs and fuck people in them or something. There's probably a market for that.
Oh no, I'm 100% positive there's a fucking market for Spider-Man pornography if the powers existed for real. I mean, there's a market for anything.
Yeah, those wacky feet men.
Armpit men, shit men.
Freshman feet too.
Freshman feet too.
You never expect freshman feet to be a gay porno. That's all I'll say about it.
How do you not expect it to be a gay porno? It's called Freshman Feet. A
'Cause
bunch of hunky shirtless guys showing their feet on the cover.
like if you'd never seen the cover of the of the movie, then you'd probably assume it was about women's feet.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I don't know how much the gay community is into feet when compared to straight men. I don't know. I really have no idea. But we can assume there must, There's a market for anything. I really appreciate Freshman Feet for everything it's done for the community, the LGBT community.
Yeah, it's really moved the needle forward. Yeah. For the gays.
Yeah, the gays appreciate Freshman Feet too. Or do you think they kind of take it for granted?
I'm sure some of them appreciate a whole lot.
Right. Yeah, I suppose Freshman Feet doesn't exactly advertise the fact that it's gay porn based on the title alone. How disappointed would you be if you had a foot fetish and you were ordering a VHS tape out of the porn catalog, your Playboy magazine, and it comes and it's a gay foot fetish?
It's men's feet.
I'd be a little disappointed. I'd be like, oh damn, bummer, you know? Really not shit.
There's probably no refunds.
Yeah, well.
Okay,
Who wants to go through the hassle, you know? Then there's an awkward situation where you're stuck with the videotape, so you just throw it in a drawer, and then one day somebody finds your gay foot porn. Called Freshman Feet too.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Looks bad, especially if you buy like, maybe like the catalog has the double pack, Freshman Feet 1 and 2, you know? All of a sudden it looks like you came back to the same well. To explain, I thought it was women's feet, I'm not gay. But then it turns out it was men's feet the whole time. And then I bought the double pack because of, you know, values, but then... Yeah, now I have the VHS collection, no homo.
The whole set.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer. How did Rob end up with a bunch of gay porno tapes again?
He bought a box of VHSs at a fucking garage sale. And the top layer was just like Disney shit, and he's like, whatever. And he didn't really look through it, and then he got home, and underneath the top shit of like The Lion King 2 was a bunch of gay porn.
Sure. I got you. That's how it goes. I mean, me and Dylan Jacobson had a similar story at the auction with the training porn. When we were like fucking 10. We got scared. Buried the fucking porn out by the church. Somewhere in those woods by St. Peter's is probably, I mean, at this point it's probably just compost. It's been like 15 years, but...
I mean, there's still probably little plasticky bits out there.
Well, I mean, they were just straight up magazines. What's the plastic?
Oh, I thought they were VHSs.
No.
If it was magazines, those things are long gone.
No, me and Dylan got scared because it was like there's the Dilbert comics. We bought a box of comics, not like superhero comics or anything. Dilbert specific, like Dilbert and Garfield and shit. And we're like, okay, cool, I'm with it. And then we removed the first layer of Dilbert and Garfield, and it was a whole bunch of fucking biker tranny porn magazines. It was like trannies on bikes.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
Dylan's parents bought it for us at the auction. I remember the day clearly. We went to get Burger King chicken fries, and then we went out to the auction. And then I went back the next day, and they gave us, the box was in the garage, and we opened it up, and we're like, oh shit, we're in trouble if we get caught with this fucking weird porn. This weird fucking porn where the chicks with dicks are on bikes. So, I don't know. So then we took it out to the woods by St. Peter's and dug a little hole
Yeah, well,
and buried them.
Yeah, sometimes these things happen, Connor. Sometimes you think you're getting Dilbert and you get a bunch of biker training porn, I guess.
It is ironic how the world works that way sometimes, you know? All we wanted to do was show it to fucking Dilbert. It's like 10-year-olds, we definitely get the humor of Dilbert comic strips from the 1970s collected in beautiful hardcover volumes. There were like 5 or 6 like beautifully preserved, mint-condition Dilbert books, and we're like, hell yeah. But honestly, we were so scared that we'd get caught that we just buried the Dilbert along with them. Everything was buried in the whole box.
No witnesses.
No witnesses. What if Dilbert told on us? I mean, there were probably cum stains all over the Dilbert or something anyway, so it's probably for the best. Residual cum stains. So, who knows if he's alive anymore? Probably.
Dilbert
He's
now?
probably like 80. Yeah, because you gotta think, like, they're like, he like bought these beautiful collections of Dilbert.
You have an interesting way of romanticizing the Dilbert comic.
They were nice volumes. They had like an MSRP of like $100 on them, and this is like 2005, so
Who the
with
fuck would
inflation,
spend $100 on Dilbert?
they were like 300-page Dilbert volumes, not worth $100. Archival quality Dilbert collections. But we remember looking on the back of the first Dilbert we pulled out, and it said $99, and me and Dylan felt like we struck it rich. So we kept digging. There was some Garfield paperbacks, some Garfield hardcovers, Dilbert hardcovers. We had like hit the mother load of newspaper comics. We were so excited. And then we got about a fifth of the way through this giant cardboard box. The box wasn't small at all. It was a big ass cardboard box. And underneath was probably in the ballpark of well over 100 transvestite porn, tranny biker porn magazines. I don't remember like all of it. I'm sure there were like a higher variety than just tranny biker porn. Because there can only be one magazine that caters to the tranny biker porn. To the people who have fetishes for biker women who have dicks. Like, I can't imagine. It seems pretty niche to me. I can't imagine there were many competing magazines.
I wonder if you could track down the man.
Go to the VFW and be like, I need your.
If he's
I
still
need to go
alive,
into
that's
the
where it'd be.
archives. Should I start asking around the VFW? Just be like, is there like any Dilbert fans around here? And they're like, we're all fucking 60. We all fought in the Vietnam War. Of course, we're Dilbert fans. And I'm like, okay, let's get a little more specific. Is there any Dilbert fans here who like transsexual biker porn? And some guy in the corner blushes and he says, I knew this day would come.
I've spent 40 years running from the truth.
Yeah, for real. No, you gotta question his motives. Like, I guess Rob kinda had a similar situation. Like, okay, you're trying to sell this crap. You're trying to sell the Dilbert. Do you just think you're gonna get more money if it looks like the box is more full and the only thing you can think to fill the box up with is some back issues or some
Maybe like
biker tranny porn? Or where do you...
maybe like gay Uncle Richard died and they found a box and they're like, oh, it's a bunch of Dilbert comics or something, and sold without looking through it.
Well, clearly the VFW didn't look through it because they were like, a box of comics for your kids. The VFW in Forest Lake, right by Target.
Yeah, I know which
Holding their silent auction. And by silent, I mean it was the full-blown auction. Pretty sure we also got like a rusty Razor scooter. I think that was the haul that day. Yeah, it was wild, dude. It was wild.
Sounds about right for Force Link.
So no one must have proofread it. No one must have dug. I mean, whoever Yeah, it must have been like Grandpa's box of Dilbert comics, and they just dug through the first layer and we're like, okay, it must just be a box of fucking Dilbert or something. So we'll bring it to the VFW to sell at auction, and then at the VFW they just didn't bother to check through it either. And it was just some comedy of errors.
A bunch of transvestite biker porn slipped through the cracks and landed in your lap.
Yeah. It's funny how life works sometimes.
When life gives you Dilbert, make transvestite biker porn. I wonder. I don't know. You lose the ×4 as soon as you go out. I was gonna say, I wonder if you could choose it by having one dude stand in the ×4 zone, but it doesn't seem that way.
I just feel like I'd look through the box before I sold it, you know? Both times. Like,
It was for a good cause.
maybe it was one of those things where, like, it was time for it to go, but it also, they couldn't let it go to waste type of thing.
Yeah.
Was the feeling of the seller. Like, you can't throw away all this perfectly good transsexual biker porn. I mean, it's still perfectly good.
It's something that never really goes out of style.
I'm sure there's people who are watching. Now it's probably with the, okay. Now with the internet being more, okay, what the fuck? Really doesn't like my attempts to throw a bomb at this thing. There we go. That'll do her. Yeah, so that was a bit of a blunder on the VFW's part, we'll put it that way.
What DVD was it that you bought that had like My Karaoke Party on Wii tucked into it?
Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah. Funny little missing.
Yeah, I bought the sealed, the certified pre-owned from FYE, and whoever certified it did a piss poor job and didn't even fucking bother to open the case. Or they just opened the case and just didn't give a shit. I don't know.
I don't see how you could possibly have opened the case.
There was no
And be
way I
like,
could have like checked the case beforehand.
This basically.
It was at FYE. It was certified pre-owned.
No, I know. I'm saying
Fucking certified.
whoever was at FYE clearly didn't bother to open the case because there was a bright pink Wii disc on the inside instead of Agent Cody Banks.
Right, so I saw the clearance copies of Agent Cody Banks 1 and 2, so I picked them up for $1 each or whatever from FYE. And I was like, I'll do a Cody Banks double feature one day. Apparently I only own Cody Banks 2, because we're not allowed to have good things, and I got American Idol karaoke or whatever instead.
Yeah.
Really makes you think about FYE's certification process, too.
Yeah, something fucky went on.
Like I bet my discs, you know, like I'm not even talking about the fact that I got the incorrect disc. You know, that's one thing. But also, like, what if my disc was just scratched to hell? What if I did get a copy of it in Cody Banks, but it was just too scratched to work? That would be shitty. But what could I do? They certified it pre-owned. It was a certified pre-owned copy. Remember when Target sold pre-owned games for a while?
Yeah, that was weird. When things people returned and were open and then just...
Well, then there'd be like random, like, fucking, like, 10-year-old games there.
Yeah, that too.
I get, like, if it was, like, open box, like, at Best Buy or something. I don't know where they were getting these pre-owned games.
They have no fucking clue.
It's probably like the Pokemon cards where they just had some guy that would like bring them in or something. Because Walmart was doing it too for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some weird, like,
It's when the used game market was
overstocked
interesting.
distributor.
GameStop was trying to do retro games at that point.
Yeah, that was a gigantic disaster.
So
they got
just buying
complete-
fake stuff.
They got completely loaded up with fake Earthbounds, and their whole website was just like, you can pay $700 for a clearly fake Earthbound, but we don't
People
give a
really
shit.
want to sell GameStop copies of Earthbound. The problem with the retro game market is, if I go and sell my new copy of Modern Warfare 3 on eBay, I'm not gonna get that much money, and most normies think it's a fucking pain in the ass to sell shit on eBay, which it is.
It's even
Don't
worse
get me
now
wrong.
because you legally have to declare eBay on your taxes now if you make like $150.
Right.
They
Well,
lowered it from like, it used to be that you'd have to sell like 2,000 in a year to have to pay taxes on it. Now it's like 150. It becomes not even worth it. It's like I want to sell one fucking thing on eBay and then you pay $900 in taxes.
right. But normies think that shit's a pain in the ass, so when they're done playing Modern Warfare 3, they're gonna turn it into GameStop and make $2 instead of
Or $5 store credit.
$4 or $5 store credit as opposed to $15 on eBay. But the retro game market, you had to operate on eBay and used circles. So, like, if you own a copy of Earthbound, why would you sell a real copy of Earthbound to GameStop? Like, if I'm a collector who bought Earthbound, unless I'm like grandma and found Earthbound in my basement and decide, oh, I guess I somehow know GameStop sells retro games now, so I'm gonna go out of my way and sell my son's video games from the 90s, and I just happen to have one of the rarest low print run video games. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, no, they
And
just
most
ask you
retro
to
people
flip
have
their
stuff at
face.
retro stores and don't fuck with GameStop. GameStop's a store 100% for normies, and that's why they had to start selling Funko Pops and crap. Their retro game
T-shirts.
initiative made no sense.
GameStop is like 90% t-shirts and Funko Pops now. It's kind of pathetic.
The only people I know, like Jake the bartender buys all his new games at GameStop, but that's because his buddy works at GameStop and will just buy the games on his discount and then give him sell him the game back at that price. So Jake typically gets his new games for like $50 instead of $60. So that's like the only like valid reason to actually legitimately like video games and go to GameStop is if you're a worker there. Otherwise, it's made to trick children who don't know better to go to GameStop.
Yeah.
I just don't understand what they were thinking with the retro games conceptually and how they thought.
I also like how like 2 years before we already did that whole section.
They should sell strippers like at the NES Punk.
I like how 2 years before that they also like just cleaned out their whole like PS2, GameCube, Wii, DS sections, and they're like, well, actually, we're selling all that stuff again. After they threw it all away.
Yeah, they were like cutting up copies of Earthbound because they didn't want to have that trash fill up their store. And then they changed their mind. I like people who GameStop dumpster dive. Those are the true game preservationists. They're like, oh shit, look what I got today. A copy of Madden 2010. Like, there's a reason it's in GameStop's dumpster. It's because it belongs there. GameStop's not throwing away gems. They're tossing shit they can't sell. It's like picking rotten fruit out of the grocery store dumpster.
I mean, during the big Wii and PS2 genocide, there was definitely some shit that ended up there.
Yeah.
It was
The
like super overpriced that they couldn't sell because it was overpriced, and then decided to chop up the day that they got the order to kill everything. So there's definitely some shit that.
If I was the manager, I'd just steal so much shit and resell it on eBay.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I would do with the PS2 genocide, but you gotta know, like, half those people are GameStop company men, so you don't want to break the rules. I mean, that's what I do at my job. I'll just, like, steal a fucking life-size scoop I'm supposed to throw away. Why not? One day that scoop is gonna be worth something. Matt Pat, or not Matt Pat, what's that fucking guy? Patrick Bateman.
Who? What?
The fucking guy who's like, look at these rare Sonic standee from the 1990s.
Oh, Pat Mac or something like that?
Whatever.
Matt Peck.
Sonic has many plush figurines. That guy. Have you ever had sex with a Sonic plushie? One day, some Scooby collectors will be like the sought after.
Have you tried to look up what it's worth?
Scoob. Coronavirus canceled Scoob. Originally, Scoob was meant to come to theaters. Unfortunately, it did not. But
I think probably it was extra mondo rare because of the corona shit.
Well, I fucked up because I threw away a box of those Trolls World Tour cup toppers, but after the coronavirus, they were worth like $10 each, so I literally threw away like $2,000 in Trolls cup toppers. We could never sell them. We were instructed to throw them up. I'm like, who the fuck is a fan of Trolls World Tour that's over the age of 5, you know? But I should have figured there's a lot of coronavirus throwaways. I threw away a lot of posters during the coronavirus that are probably going to be worth something one day. Like Black Widow. But like half my posters just got horribly sun bleached during the coronavirus, which is going to make them even rarer. Posters are not meant to stay in the case for very long, but Black Widow sitting out in the hot sun for 6 months. But it didn't look so hot. The rare New Mutants poster. I don't know what's... New Mutants is going to be the rarest poster ever. Because there's so many variations. Because it kept getting new release dates and Fox kept sending out new pictures, posters. And then when Disney bought Fox, they finally put out the poster for during the coronavirus, which is also going to be rare because it's a coronavirus poster. But for a long time, Arbor Lakes had the original IMAX poster for New Mutants that got sent out in like 1994 or whatever.
I wonder what the life-sized Scoob coronavirus statue goes for.
It didn't even come to every theater. There's probably only like 100 of those, specifically for AMC in certain locations. I don't even know if it like came with like a cardboard thing or why we got it, to be real with you. I did not get a life-size Scoob freaking figurine at Arbor Lakes, otherwise I'd have 2 Scoobs sitting around. Because I would have finessed both of them. I like how Lindsay literally was about to huck Scoob in the trash to make more room for BTS posters. She said she doesn't fuck with Scooby-Doo. And I was like, it's kind of like my boy. You were about to throw them out because you wanted to fit more BTS posters up.
Her desk is so vile, dude. It's so vile.
Pretty bad. She got really butthurt at Barnes and Noble because there was a 20% off sticker on one of her BTS albums, and they only gave her 10% off, and she complained to me about it all day. She's like, it was supposed to be $20, 20% off, which would have made it $16, but I ended up paying $18 plus tax. It's like, oh damn, what a fucking shame. I had to hear about it the rest of the day.
Yeah, the second I saw Lindsay for the first time, I instantly knew it was her.
Yeah.
I've only seen her one time when she walked up to you when we were waiting for a show or something. I was like, this must be Lindsay. This woman must be the Lindsay. She definitely looks like a BTS
Oh,
fan.
what the fuck?
She definitely looks like a K-pop fan.
Yeah.
It's Bond 30. Oh, okay.
Got it. It's on.
When's the BTS meal coming back?
They're doing a new Offset and Cardi B meal at McDonald's.
That's cool. I guess.
Valentine's Day. Cardi B and Offset are getting their own meal.
Huh.
Lovers, even though they're great romantic relationships, just like Cardi B being like, Offset just beat the shit out of me today, I'm gonna break up with him, and then he's like, yeah, I was busy cheating on you, so I'm sorry, and then I keep up with the Daily Mail. I'm just kidding, I mostly see my news on my hip hop news on Facebook where it's like, oh god, Offset was caught fucking a tranny or whatever. Cardi B's pissed. But I don't think Cardi B understands she doesn't have what rappers want. Just a fat, juicy dick.
Yeah. It's a trend. You think they're gonna bring back the Travis Scott meal after he killed like 9 people?
Probably. I think everyone's forgiven him now. Actually, I don't know. I haven't really, like, Travis Scott hasn't really made any music this last, like, year. All he does is get Kylie Jenner pregnant every 6 months.
Well, no, they're divorced now or broken up or whatever. They were never married or something, I don't know.
About, like, he got her pregnant, like, for the 800th time. They were gonna name their kid something stupid, like Dual Axis or something.
She gave birth to the new one and they named him like Wolf or something. Wolfpack or...
Or below the dub because
Howler
Travis
Moon.
Scott's such a big fan of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, the new one's named like Wolfbane. It already came out, the new kid.
They dropped a new kid.
And then they got divorced or something. Broken
Or
up or
Travis
whatever.
Scott really getting down on life, but it probably wouldn't be a good PR move for Kylie Jenner to stay with the child murderer, Travis Scott. I heard Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox broke up. God rest their beautiful romance.
Beautiful romance where...
They lasted like 2 months. Weren't they married or something for 2 months?
No. But, fucking... Machine Gun Kelly cucked Megan Fox's ex-husband. And she was like, you're too old for me even though we're the same age and I want some little tiny baby boy dick from 19-year-old Machine Gun Kelly, and then she kept
Machine Gun
making...
Kelly's like 40. If you look at his early rap videos, it's him in the trailer park And he had like a receding hairline at like 14 or whenever he started rapping, and then yeah, he was also 40 at the same time, and then he got hair implants.
And then Megan Fox's whole thing, him and her whole thing was that they'd
do like weird BDSM costumes to the red carpet.
well, not only that, but like Megan Fox would always make Instagram posts where she's like, if you ever leave my side, I'm gonna kill myself and shoot you in the face. And that was like their cute couple thing. And now they're broken up.
You gotta respect it at least.
Wonder how her ex-husband Cucky McGee feels.
He's probably pretty happy. I'm sure he's not doing too bad for himself. Megan Fox is fucking creepy. I'm sure he's able to bang like an 18-year-old supermodel because he was Megan Fox's ex-husband. Sure it all worked out for him in the end. I wouldn't be too concerned that whatever socialite or actor or whatever her ex-husband was.
I don't think he's an actor, which means he's probably some kind of rich millionaire.
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. So I'm sure he's doing fine. He probably made out in the end with the ultimate dub. Didn't she have like a fucking kid with him? So she probably has got child support out, or he probably gets child support from her for being loaded.
No, she probably somehow ended up with the child support anyway.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think she takes care of the child.
Why would she have time to do that?
Just abandoned with the baby daddy so she can go fuck around with Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, you know,
Dude, weird.
she's got to be on the red. It's
sexy.
her only way to the red carpet. I'm sure she'll start dating some other like washed up rapper to get to the red carpet.
Yeah, I mean, she's not acting anymore.
I guess actually I should say Machine Gun Kelly's a punk rock musician these days. That somehow got nominated for Rock Album of the Year. It's kind of embarrassing. Do you think he was pissed when he lost to Ozzy Osbourne? He's like, who is this guy? I mean, I know Ozzy Osbourne got the Edge of Death for free Grammy. People are pissed because Song of the Year didn't go to Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, or Beyonce. It went to some like 70s folk musician who still makes music. And apparently like wrote and did the entire song herself, but people are fucking mad that she's a hack because she's old and she's not Beyonce.
I'm surprised those racists at the Grammy Academies haven't started giving awards to BTS.
Yeah, me too, to be honest with you.
Stop Asian hate, you know?
It's not like
Give BTS 15 awards a year. BTS and Beyonce can divide the awards down the middle.
yeah.
Oh, 1.7 million.
Take a piss.
Well, well, Maya.
Maya. to it. Has Megan Fox been in any movies in the last like 10 years? I think she's too
I
old.
can't even think of one that's had her in fucking ages.
I think it's a mixture. Like, she's not a good enough actor to also be 30 in her 30s, you know.
Yeah.
It's it.
I mean, even when she was still hot, people stopped putting her in things because she sucked.
Right. Well, also
Like
she was
after
very
fucking-
specifically 2007 standard of hot. Like, no one actually thinks Megan's hot.
Yeah.
Hot these days. I mean, yeah, like in a supermodel sense, but she's not like so ridiculously hot you gotta put her in crap because she's not a good actor either.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Jonah Hex pretty much kind of flatlined her.
Yeah. Well, so apparently Michael Bay didn't like her. The only reason she got transformed is just because Michael Bay wanted to fuck her. I mean, let's just be honest here. I'm not saying Michael Bay forced her to fuck him to get the job. I'm guessing, you know, he just really wanted to fuck her and then he could film her in very awkward ways. You know, watching Velma yesterday did kind of bring up the interesting point of how much media sexualizes high schoolers for some reason. I mean, granted, the high schoolers are usually cast at like 30. It's always a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like, it's kind of weird looking at it from the outside, but like, you have to remember that Riverdale's made for like 15-year-old girls who are horny for sexy, shirtless.
Yeah,
quote,
no,
unquote,
Riverdale.
15-year-olds.
Yeah, I guess Riverdale, and I mean, I guess Transformers.
It's
is
really
target
weird in Velma
audience
because
kind of
Velma's made for, I don't know.
nobody really.
I don't think it's made for kids. But yeah, they do all the sexy shit in Riverdale because it's made for little girls and they want to make the little girls get excited over fucking Taylor Lautner taking his shirt off or whatever.
Yeah, I mean all those.
Whoever
shows.
the new Taylor Lautner is.
I get that, like in Twilight and crap, being like, oh, okay.
As for Velma, I don't
Still
get what they're going for. Like, that's the ultimate conclusion of Velma, that I don't get what they're going for.
I don't get it in Transformers either because the franchise is trying to appeal to little boys and people who are nostalgic for the Transformers IP, who are mostly in like their 30s by the time Transformers came out in 2007. And then you're supposed to be horny over Megan Fox the whole time, so it's a little weird.
I think they're trying to increase the range, you know, you gotta capture the teenage audience. The little kids are already gonna show up because they're little kids and see big robots.
Yeah, but couldn't
And the
they
boomers
just
are
like,
gonna show up.
they could just say that these characters are adults, you know? I mean, that's like, I don't know. But Sam's like, I'm only 14 years old, so can I see your titties, Mrs. Fox? Michaela, can I see your titties? Can I see your titty bitties, please? It's a little awkward.
Look how Megan Fox got fired from the movies and then they just never mention her again.
Well, Michael Bay has a way of getting over things, especially when it's actors that think he's a fucking asshole tool and accuse him of being a Nazi, but then he can't get past some things. Like, Megan Fox and TJ Miller will talk mad shit about him, but apparently TJ Miller said in interviews that he's good friends with Michael Bay again. And Megan Fox ended up getting casted in those Ninja Turtles movies, which was like her last acting or speaking role in a film.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And the Ninja Turtles films were produced by Michael Bay, so I'm sure if there was still bad blood there, he probably wouldn't have. I'm sure Michael Bay had the the right to opt out of Megan Fox. I doubt the director was hell-bent on getting Megan Fox specifically.
Well, the media gaslighted everyone into thinking Megan Fox was super hot, so that was just a good way to get the teenagers in. Same thing as probably thought the same thing would work as the Transformers, where little babies would see it because it was Ninja Turtles, and old boomers would see it because it was Ninja Turtles, and horny teenagers would be tricked into seeing it. Because everyone was gaslighted into believing Megan Fox was hot.
That's true. I still think Michael Bay must have thought Megan Fox was hot, because I bet he pulled the trigger and said we need to cast Megan for this to play the exact same role as Transformers. I mean, April O'Neil was supposed to be kind of is supposed to be kind of a proactive character, but she still kind of just stood there and screams the whole time and sheltered the Ninja Turtles in her house. I mean, I guess that's kind of always been April O'Neil. So.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a weird pick for April O'Neil, but
I mean, if you listen to Doug Walker talk about the Ninja Turtles, all he ever talks about is how horny he was for April O'Neil. So
pretty much any kid from the 80s
casted him correctly.
was super horny for April O'Neil for some reason.
She's dressed like a fucking plumber.
Yeah, she's dressed like a plumber and has the same hairstyle as the receptionist from Ghostbusters.
It was just the style of the time, Connor. Like mullets and gay porno VHSs about men's feet.
I also like how there's like been multiple like comics and shit where like April O'Neil basically like is horny for Donatello and would definitely fuck him if he wasn't a turtle. Like that's like a running plot. That the Ninja Turtles are horny for April O'Neil and April O'Neil specifically horny for Donatello, but it's too bad he's a turtle. Too bad he's a turtle.
Am I not turtly enough for the turtle club?
He's too turtly for the pussy club.
Yeah, it kind of sucks for the Ninja Turtles that they're all just destined to be virgins because they
can't really fuck another turtle because you're too big. Can't fuck a human because you're too small.
Turtle
human
fucking things.
Weird turtle man. I'm sure the Ninja Turtles could find somebody to fuck them if they wanted.
I mean each other.
I mean, yeah, each other, of course, but I mean, like, I'm sure there's some freaky chick out there that would fuck them before being turtles. Famous fucking martial artist turtle, anthropomorphic turtles. Like, if they don't, the Ninja Turtles have to restrain themselves and choose to be virgins. Because of their pious martial arts ways. I'm sure they could be swimming in pussy, literally and figuratively. Because bitches are weird, man.
Yeah.
Something you can't
I mean, look at the nostalgia chick. All she ever does is talk about how she wants to fuck Transformers.
Yeah, that's true.
But now she's quit the internet.
No, then she changed to wanting to fuck like Hamilton or whatever. Alexander Hamilton. And then she quit the internet because people called her out for whatever.
When she was talking about Moana, she made chinky eyes. Or something.
What?
Yeah, that's why she got canceled. Because she was
a classic nostalgia critic gay.
She was talking about Moana, and she was like, people are racist against Moana and think that all Hawaiian people look like Asians, and she made chinky eyes or something. And she got canceled for it, and for some reason, she got butthurt enough about people making fun of her for making chinky eyes that she quit the internet.
Well, no, first she made that like 6-hour-long apology video where she apologized for everything she'd ever done wrong.
Yeah.
And then people were still.
And also
like,
blamed most of it on Doug Walker somehow.
You got it. Then all of her friends made videos hating on Doug Walker. I mean, fair enough. I think Doug Walker's too fucking stupid to have actually orchestrated anything negative in his life. Not even stupid, he's just...
I like how the whole change the channel document is about everyone else but Doug. And the only thing...
Doug's a dumbass.
Literally the only thing about Doug in the entire document, like, people who haven't read it assume that it's all about how, like, Doug is literally Hitler. Literally, there's, like, 2 sentences about Doug, and it's like, when we filmed Kick-Assia, he didn't realize that he needed to bring water. And then it just moves on. It's like, yeah, and then Mike Machad and Jew Wario raped me, like, 8 times. And everyone just assumes that Doug is, like, super Hitler because of the document's existence, even though he's just not featured in it very much at all.
Yeah, I mean,
because
what he did was he handed over
stupid.
The Nostalgia Critic to some guy who's like, we could make a lot of money off the Nostalgia Critic if you give it to me for free. And then he was dumb enough to get conned by it. And the guy happened to be a fucking rapist. Like, oopsies. But he's like legally obligated to keep working with the guy because his life of work is the Nostalgia Critic and he gave it over.
Yeah.
So I guess he might be slightly complicit with rape.
I also like how allegedly Mike Machad just spends like 20 hours a day playing Modern Warfare on Xbox and doesn't actually run the site at all. And the only time he stops playing Modern Warfare is to sexually harass women. And Doug gave him the whole company like a year into making Nostalgia Critic because he said he could make him a lot of money.
Yeah, basically, he's the Harvey Weinstein of internet content. If anything, Doug is the Quentin Tarantino, you know? Yeah. Doug's the Quentin Tarantino of the internet, and Mike Machad is Harvey Weinstein. You can't help who he associates with. Is he complicit in continuing to work with him? Like, yeah, but what choice does he have? He was stupid enough to sign over his entire brand. I'm sure Doug is a multi-millionaire from the Nostalgia Critic, but he would be like 5 times more rich if he didn't stupidly sign away the Nostalgia Critic for no reason.
Yeah. I'm surprised Mike Matei is allowed to still be on the internet. I remember a couple of years ago when everyone dug up the fucking Loco Bandito.
Is he on the internet even? Does he Twitch stream still?
Mike Matei is on Twitch streams like every single day. Loco Bandito was a comic that Mike drew in like the fucking in like 2002, and it's a bunch of Mexican stereotypes and sombreros who are on a bus, and then the bus breaks down and they start raping it while singing La Cucaracha. And people dug it up and were calling Mike a racist, and Mike just never responded, and life just went on.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... I mean, only, like, old-timey internet people who don't care about mostly fucking turbo-nerd internet users born in, like, 1992 actually watch Angry Video Game Nerd or Nostalgia Critic anymore. And everyone else has moved on. And that's why, like, anybody associated with them can just get away with whatever the fuck. As long as they shut up and just let the controversy pass. Once people like Sarah Z or whatever make their videos on them, and the heat passes, then nobody gives a shit.
Everyone forgets
the main audience takes it, and then there's still like a certain contingent of like presumably children who don't give a fuck, and either grow out of Nostalgia Critic by the time they can comprehend that he's a fucking weird racist, or they're old. I'm sure Mike Matee's fans are so break off that it has to be diehard AVGN fans that just don't give a fuck about the fact that he made a racist.
Yeah, why would they?
Like, nobody gives a shit about Mike Matee enough. They thought Mike Matee came back for an episode of AVGN that came out recently, but he didn't. Because the Bugs Bunny came back and they just sampled his voice. They just decided to sample old clips from the Bugs Bunny video because they couldn't possibly just have someone else do a Bugs Bunny impression. Only Mike cut it down, so it was someone else in the suit. But then they used Mike Matee's old voice line, so they're like, "Hey, Mike Matee's back." Turns out that was not the case.
That's really fucking weird to do, actually.
I like how James had He was just James. And then James actually is even stupider than the Nostalgia Critic, because at least the Nostalgia Critic was like 25 and early to the internet whenever content creator was hawking off their channel to some asshole who said they could make a bunch of money. I mean, that was early internet. That was just early YouTube. Up till like 2015, people just thought the best way to make money was to hawk your channel off to some mega corporation or some random guy who said they could make you a lot of money. That was just how things went back in the day.
Well, Doug also still has some sort of partial ownership.
Right. Well, then fucking James just hawked off his entire channel like in 2018 or some shit.
Yeah. To some random fat people who forced themselves into his videos.
And then I guess Mike must have hated them, or there must have been some sort of falling out. Mike and James claim they're still friends, but I don't think that either of them have appeared together since the falling out.
Yeah, no.
On anything. I don't think
whatever's happened is definitely because of the fucking Screenwave shit.
And it's sad because the best Cinemassacre member, Bootsy, got kicked off because Mike was asking that he was good at video games or whatever. Or Bootsy was like a weirdo. I don't really remember. Somehow Bootsy just was like such an autist that he was a social outcast even to James and Mike. He got kicked off Cinemassacre. I just like Bootsy Beats in like 2013 because he would just like, James would be like, I played this game for 25 years and could never beat it. And it would be something that like honestly you should be able to beat if you put that much effort into it. But then Bootsy would just make it look easy.
Bootsy's just a fucking gamer, dude.
Bootsy just like once he broke up with the Cinemassacre crew, he's just done. The internet, he disappeared. Mike Mateek transferred his success playing the Bugs Bunny role in several episodes of Angry Video Game Nerd, having a training wife and a big dong into... Is Mike Mateek honorarily black? When you think about it, when the evidence is there, you hear that there's a guy named Mike Mateek who loves fucking trannies and has a massive dong. What do you assume about Mike Mateek? What race do you assume Mike Mateek is if you didn't have an idea? Mike Mateek is an honorary black man.
Mike Mateek does have a massive dong.
Yes, and he likes fucking, and his wife's a tranny. Or is he still with his tranny wife? Or
I have no idea. I don't keep up with him.
I
remember the controversy when... I remembered another Mike Mateek controversy from the same time as the Loco Banditos coming back, though.
What was that?
When he got really drunk and he's like, I'm sick of people asking about my gigantic fucking wiener, so here's a picture of it with a ruler next to it, and he posted it on the front page of the Cinemassacre subreddit where he was a mod. And he posted his gigantic magnum dong next to a ruler on the fucking front page.
I wonder if that had something to do with his
Cinemassacre
outcast
subreddit.
and just being unhinged.
And even that was not enough to kill Mike.
Well, they banned Mike. They banned Mike from the Cinemassacre subreddit, so then they made a new one.
Yeah, I know.
Where they started hating on James. I got it recommended to me all the time when I was on Reddit for 3 weeks because I don't know why. I guess it just like dug deep into the internet history and realized at one point I watched Davey Jan 10 years ago a lot, so they knew I would want to hear about it. And everybody calls James Bimmy for some reason. I don't know what that's about.
Because the Double Dragon episode where
sure.
The character's misnamed Bimmy, although I don't know why they would refer to James as Bimmy.
Maybe they started calling him Jimmy and then switched it to Bimmy, because James, like sometimes people named James go by Jimmy,
I guess.
Go by Jim or Jimmy.
I don't know. Could be the case.
It had to have been a joke that evolved over time.
I don't live inside the minds of the people who can still tolerate AVGN.
No, the subreddit. So I think before Mike even left Cinemassacre, he was kicked off the subreddit. Is my understanding from reading, probably due to the dong incident.
It was the dong incident, yeah.
So he was kicked off the subreddit by Screen Machine or whatever, and then they made their own subreddit for Mike Matee, but once they fired Mike Matee, the Reddit turned around and became a dick riding Mike and hating on James. And whenever a new AVGN episode came out, they'd get really ass hurt and just make fun of it. And otherwise, it was them making fun of people for being fat, making fun of the
fatties,
the new fatties, the people who've taken over.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair.
No, I mean, I don't blame them. I actually kind of enjoyed the subreddit. I thought it was pretty funny. Because it was just them talking about how much they loved Mike and hated Bibby.
Every time I get an episode of rental reviews recommended to me, all I could think about was just.
I can only imagine their rental reviews are just like, how many times can we watch fucking Mac and Me? They're probably gonna do Nuki if they haven't already, because their rental reviews is just we want to be Red Letter.
Oh, rental reviews got canceled.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Because the ring stank so much?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thought that I could elicit whenever I saw it get recommended. Like, I was like, oh.
What do they even do on Cinemassacre to make money now, then? Is it just AVGN episodes, or do they have
to might have something else, but I think pretty much everything.
Because they don't have James and Mike Plays anymore.
It's canceled.
So it must literally just be AVGN.
Yeah, I don't know.
I probably.
I think the other fucking fat weirdos.
The fat weirdos into quitting rental reviews.
I think the other fat weirdos still sometimes make videos, but yeah, the actual rental reviews is over. And every time, all I could ever think about is like, you see this picture of these like James, and then like 600-pound men.
It's kind of like that.
All crammed into James's
picture
tiny basement. And it was just like, imagine how fucking terrible it must smell down there.
Right. Well, I had to have told you the story of Twitter where I cyberbullied one of the people that own Cinema. I think it's the main guy, the main investor whose dad gave him the money to buy Cinemassacre.
Oh, yeah.
It's the fat guy.
Ryan?
I think it was Ryan. It's like the main guy. He's in like every video. He's not like the other fatties who just show up occasionally. That's why I think he's the main guy. But I would see him on Twitter. He must be perpetually on Twitter, because it didn't matter what thread I wandered onto on Twitter, he would be there. And it would be like, and I'm not talking about web related. Like I really didn't, I mostly followed like film Twitter stuff, which I guess it makes sense he'd be on film Twitter, but sometimes I'd get recommended stuff. It'd be like a Colgate ad and I'd click it, and there he was commenting on the Colgate ad. Or whatever. Like, he was just perpetually on Twitter and commenting on everything. And there was one thing, I think it was like a retweet, but it was like a Twitter thought. And he commented on it. And his comment was alone, no likes, no nothing. And I commented, I commented on his tweet and I said, does the cinematic rental reviews room smell like shit? Because it looks like it. And he said, no, actually, we're good-smelling gentlemen that all use cologne. That was his response. And then I saw him a couple weeks later on a different thread that was totally unrelated to the internet or Cinemassacre or anything. And I commented again. I mean, I think it might have been showing the comments. I think it was something weird, too. It was like a freaking tweet about Biden or some crap. Like a political thing. And he was like, oh, man, if only, like, Biden was a gamer. And I commented, does the cinematic rental review stink like shit? And then he blocked me. And then I got banned from Twitter for telling a bunch of kids I was going to comment their moms. That was the end of my saga. So if I ever create a new Twitter, I think I'll track him down. But yeah, no, he's active on Twitter, and he's also the owner of Cinemassacre. Those are his two claims to fame. Alright, I need a break. I can't play level 1 anymore.
Okay.
We're gonna have to start Wakanda Forever.
Oh, God.
We'll just have to play a little bit before I go to work every day, because we'll just have to like run through it once, and then eventually, once we suffer through it, Because we just played for like 3 hours and we got a third of the way there.
Yeah. After these first two, it gets a lot better. Cause like
right after that, we can actually start playing, but we're kind of stuck in a loop of there's no
the
point.
fucking let's see. The extra score. Here we go. Those are super weapons.
To 100% Lego Star Wars most efficiently, Lego Star Wars 2 is actually fucking painful.
The first one's 2 million, and the second one is 6 million, which is effectively 3 million.
Right.
But then when we have times 8, the times 6 is 12 million. So it's like 1.5 million effectively.
So the times 6.
And then the times 6 and the times 8 together is like times 64, and we only have to get to 20 million, so that's not much. And then the times 10 is only 30 million, and we'll be at like times fucking 2,000 or something.
Okay, so once we suffer through this, I mean, I can't physically do this. I've hit a roadblock. I mean, I know this isn't the way it's intended to go. Like, you're intended to just repeatedly play this game forever, and then eventually you can get the score multipliers. But it's the only level that's even close to efficient. There's no point in playing another level.
Yeah, I mean,
because we'd just be wasting time.
This one's terrible. Let's see.
Pretty much, this game has like probably some of the least fun levels. It's like the least fun collection of levels in a Lego game. 18 horribly boring levels. Like there's no level.
Entirely true.
There's no level in Lego Star Wars 2 that stands out as particularly fun because
the problem is
the prequels are retarded movies, but make for fun Lego game set pieces.
Yeah,
The original trilogy is amazing. But suffers from,
I mean,
what the fuck are you gonna do but dick around in Tatooine and fucking shoot Greedo for an hour?
Yeah, I mean, you got the opening scene, and then it skips ahead to just like random crap Luke did.
No, it's not
Mos Eisley, Death Star again, and then the X-wing shit.
At least, like, the complete saga is like, okay, you get it packed together. But I just think, like, collectively, like, this is the worst collection of levels in a Lego game. Oh, we can actually build the bonus level.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
I don't even know what the episode 4 bonus is. Oh, it's this. Okay. Yeah. That's all shit we're gonna have to do later.
Yeah.
Super Story is a really... I like how this game especially is like, okay, you have to get True Jedi in story and free play. You have to get the red brick and the 10 mini kits.
Right.
So you have to play every level at least 2 times, but probably way more.
See, we're always
and then you come to the bonus. Super Story is literally just play through all the levels in a row. Character bonus, I don't know what this is. Mini kit bonus, I don't know what this is. But Super Story is literally just play through all the levels in a row.
Hey, I respect it. Why don't you just play it in one sitting type of deal? And then, yeah, no, this game figures out ways to, like, absolutely... I mean, that is the problem, is the perpetual Lego grind. Like, we're always... But at least, like, the first game had the cheese to get to invincibility.
Yeah, when we figured that cheese out, that was good.
Once we figured the cheese out, that was like, there's nothing else that compares. At least you can just play the cheese for an hour and get invincibility. But this is like suffer through the same level 300 times.
Yeah, there's
so
no
you get the invincibility,
cheese.
so there's actually a point to finally moving on. It's torture. It's torture. I'm sure, but I mean, every Lego game is gonna have that issue, you know.
To some
but
extent,
at least,
but this is
but at least the ones that aren't
single
necessarily based off, like Indiana Jones, that's a fun Lego game. Because it's a bunch of set, like Indiana Jones is a movie that's comprised of 6 set pieces, essentially. That's the Indiana Jones formula, so it works perfectly as a Lego game. Star Wars, the original trilogy, doesn't necessarily have that novelty. Pirates of the Caribbean is probably pretty fun. Like